Welcome to a Farming Simulator 19 first look map tour with me, MrSealyp. Right then, we are on a new map to console. This is the Pacific Northwest. This is by epicdeath. I've had a quick whiz round already and wow, I like this. If you've been waiting for an American map, this may be the map that cheers you up. Yeah, wow. This is a fictitious map, but according to the Modhub, it is based around the Lewiston, Idaho and Eastern Washington area, where the Snake and Clearwater rivers meet. At the rivers, there is a plateau that is high above, accessed by winding mountain roads, with a flat valley out in front. That's what we're going to have a quick look at now because it's just brilliant. We are facing south on the map and we start our main farm with the stars and stripes fluttering away above our heads, which is a wonderful. Farmhouse to the left for sleeping through the night should we choose to do so. What I want to do very quickly is just walk forward to the fence line here and have a look out there. Wow. This is a map of two halves and I think it's fantastic. It's incredibly clever the way it's been done. As far as I know, this has come over from 17 and I think it's been on PC already on 17, but obviously for console players it's the first time we're getting it now. What do we start with? Looking around the yard, we've got our farmhouse we've just looked at. We've got some sheds and we've got a farm building. The doors don't open on that, so it doesn't actually serve a purpose. But next to it, we have got some liquid fertilizer and some seed. I think that might be a water point, although I haven't checked that yet. There just seems to be a lot of water everywhere. We've got some easy sheds knocking about, and over here we've got some more. When we come down the hill, slight slope, we've got our farm silo. That's a 200,000 litre silo and that holds your standard crops. Doesn't do potato, sugar beet, sugar cane or any of your forage crops, but it does do your main cereal type crops. And if we cross the road here, we've got kind of the rest of the yard with some more equipment in. We'll have a look at what equipment we start with in just a moment. So we've got another easy shed here and we've got our workshop area for repair and maintenance and so on of vehicles. Now I'm trying to keep an ear out because when I dropped on this a little while ago to have a look, on Oakfield Farm you've got 3 Spitfires that fly over now. On here there's a Hercules, a Herc, my second favourite aircraft of all time. And I was going around just checking things out and I heard it and wow. So I'm just kind of waiting for that. Anyway, let's have a look at the map, which is here. So here we have the plateau. So we're up on the top here. Now this part of the map, the northern part of the map, is so different to the bottom part. This is your valley floodplain kind of area and it's flat with very, very big fields. Up here on the top, the fields are a lot smaller, they're a lot cheaper. There's some wooded areas up on the top here as well. So there's a real difference in the two parts of the map. The top part is more undulating, more hilly, and probably a little bit more difficult to farm, whereas the bottom part, nice, big rectangular fields, plenty of space for that big machinery, which is just absolutely fantastic. As far as prices for fields go, and what do we start with? We start here with field 11, 12 and 22 and our main farm area. This is on new farmer mode. Field prices, well like I say, up here at the top, if we click on field 13, 37 grand. Field 16, 77 grand. Not too bad at all. If we come further down to the bigger fields, we're then looking at 463 grand, 876, 1,463. So the fields definitely get bigger the further south you go onto the floodplain. We have got some forested areas which aren't overly expensive to buy, and on this one as well, the biogas plant, which is just here, you do have to buy for 391,000 is what that will cost you. There are quite a few sell points and we're going to go around them. There's also a railroad we're in America, a railroad, and I love the use of the railroad on this, and I personally think it really does make it a needed part of the process, which sometimes on maps it's not. So we're going to have a whiz round. We're going to start at the top, go round and do the top bits here, then we're going to grab the train, do a couple more, then drive round, and you'll see, and I'll tell you where I am as we go. So, oh yeah, machinery. I'm still worried. Oh, there it is. It's quite high though. Oh, there's no sound. Oh, no, we got it. I do love me a Herc. Oh, it makes me smile. That's fantastic. Right, vehicles. What do we start vehicles wise? Garage. So we've got a drop nose Massey, fantastic. John Deere 6135M, and we've got a John Deere T560 harvester. Now, if you want to drop your slot count down straight away, we start off on New Farm with 615 out of 1299. Both of those John Deeres are fairly heavy on the slot count, so if you wanted to get your slot count down a little bit more from there, you could probably get rid of those. We start with an AgroLiner trailer, the header for the John Deere smallish plough, Vaderstad, I'm never quite sure, Spirit, seeder, we've got a fertiliser and herbicide sprayer, we've got a water tank for our animals, some front loader attachments, header trailer, weight. We've got a sheep pasture, and sheep is the only thing you start with on new farmer mode on this map. You don't start with any other animals. We've got a large grain silo, and then all the easy sheds and various different buildings and things which kind of go right the way across till you get to your farmhouse. Now, if you start on farm manager or start from scratch, you don't have anything. None of the buildings, nothing. It's all just a blank open space. You don't start with any equipment, and if you start on those modes, the slot count is 424 out of 1299. So that's the equipment you begin with, which is kind of dotted around all over the place. If we come this way round the yard, we've got obviously this side of the barn, the easy shed, and round here for one of our fields we've got some stuff set up ready for our harvest. So we've got the John Deere harvester, the John Deere tractor with the trailer over here waiting to start on this particular field. Across the road we have got our sheep pen, which is in a slightly rougher patch, which is just in here, and we do also start with some bales, which is rather handy, and we've got the water container just over there. So that's kind of the farm area. That's where we start off. What I'm going to do is jump in the John Deere. I will probably skip a couple of bits of journeying here. Actually, yeah, I will jump in the John Deere. So what I'm going to do is head west. Now there are three kind of main routes off of this top section, this plateau, down onto the floodplain area, and two of them are kind of main road tarmac routes, and one of them's more of a track. We're going to kind of head to that track in a moment. So we're going to be heading, well, west now, then up north, and we're going to head up towards the railroad line and a couple of the sell points up here. I'm going to jump on the train, and then we're going to head down to the valley floor beneath. This is a really nice map. I mean, really nice. I do like that difference, that on the same map you've got such a stark contrast in potential gameplay styles. There's plenty of trees to be cut down if you want to be doing forestry as well. Now, one thing it does say, and I think I can probably show it in a little bit more detail down on the valley floor, barbed wire fences, any of the barbed wire fences that have got a white ring around some of the posts, you can actually cut them out and remove sections of fencing. I can't see any white rings on these ones anyway. It's lovely houses as we go around. We're going to head right up to this sell point here, and like I say, we're going to probably skip a couple of bits out. Or, actually, you know what I'll do? We'll come to that one in a moment. Let's go this way. We'll go to kind of the main bit in the middle, and I'll grab the train from there, then I can do those other sell points. You'll see what I mean in a minute. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. The concept of it is very clever. I like that kind of split level thing you got going on. There really is, I personally think, something for everyone on here. Oh, I just missed the train. I'm up to grab that in a second. Get it to come back. But that's not a problem, we'll cut to that should we need to. So, here, we are kind of almost the northern point. There are a couple of fields kind of just ahead of us. We've got a lime point there, and this is like a grain elevator, a silo. It's not a sell point, this one here. This is a silo. Now you've got a silo here, and there's a silo down on the valley floor. If we look on the map, we're up here at the north silo, and you've got the lime station I just pointed out. We'll get to the dairy station in a minute. And down on the valley floor, just down the bottom here, you've got the port silo. So where the rivers come past, there's another silo down the bottom there. Now, if we go across here, we do start with some crops in storage, and there are various different sell points that we'll get to and we'll have a look at. What's interesting with this as well, some of the sell points do different things, which you kind of expect, but some cross over. The garden centre, for example, I think does a range of stuff. It does wool, and then the spinnery will also do wool and cotton. You've got the dairy station will do milk but not eggs, but then the bakery will do milk and eggs. And then you've got down the bottom the western sugar plant, which will do your sugar cane and sugar beet. So you've got a lot of different sell points that you can only do specific things. And then you've got obviously the timberline flour mill will do your crops that can be, you know, more your cereal crop type things. So this one and the one on the valley floor are your silos other, and they're 400,000 litre capacity. I think it's 200,000 litres for each. So what we'll do is we'll take a whiz around here, and we've got the dairy station, which is just here. The detailing on the buildings is great. It's probably, you can understand why the slot count is 615 of 1299, and on Farm Manager it's 424 already, because the map is incredibly detailed. There's a lot going on. The buildings aren't just the kind of plonked, here you go, here's a building. There's a lot of detail that's really, really nice. At a lot of the railroad points, like this one here, you've got these loading ramps as well, which I really like. That's a nice touch as well. If you're doing logging and stuff like that, makes life a lot easier. So what I'm going to do now is just wait for a train, I guess. Which, as it turned out, didn't take too long. That's really cool. So we'll jump on the train. We've got quite a few different carriages in here. It's slightly longer than your normal one. We've got the logging one, and we've got some more going further back there as well. This is kind of extra to ones we've come across before. So we've got a kind of sugar beet root crop one. We've got an open car one, and you've got the grain one. So yeah, there's a few going on. What we're going to do is jump in this. So we'll go past the north silo. We are now heading west again. So we're going to do kind of an anti-clockwise route round. That's just the direction the train's heading, pointing. We will come around first of all to, I don't remember which sell point it is now. I think it's the flour mill, isn't it? And on the right hand side there's a big placeable area. As we come through, slow that down really, really quick. You've got a big placeable area, which obviously you need to buy to own to be able to place anything on that. I have checked that already. So just here, so I'll just jump out. We have got the sell point here for Timberline Flour Mill. Now you can sell by road and by train. There is a sell point just here as well, so either one. And then we'll head on round and carry on down into the valley. Now the whole purpose of this, and this is what makes the train relevant on here, is if you're doing a lot of crops and stuff down on the valley floor, most of the access roads up to here are very, very steep. Whoa, look at that, that's amazing. So when you're driving up in a tractor on its own, that's fine. If you're hauling a heavy load, they slow down, slow down, slow down. So if you're going to do bulk transport, I love this, look. Bridges over little tracks and roads. There's some really lovely details on here. So it enables you to bring bulk crops and cargo from the valley floor up onto the plateau to sell points up here, which I think makes a massive difference. I like that whole idea of taking it off the valley floor, taking it to the silo, from the silo into the train, and then up you come up the hillside. Oh, there goes. Well, there goes the plane again. So we've got where the rivers meet. It's just to the right. We'll come and have a look at that in a bit more detail in a minute. But here, I love this bit. This is so good. You've got this bridge here, the road bridge we go under, then we go over the rail bridge. The detail and planning of laying out the map is absolutely fantastic. So down here we've got the port silo. So this is, again, you can load up 200,000 litre capacity for each crop, because it's split between the two, and then you can load it either way. You can bring it down from up there, but I like again the fact you've got the loading ramp, which is absolutely brilliant. So what we're going to do is carry on heading on, follow it round and follow the river. We're going to come back down and have a look at the valley floor, because there's a lot of sell points down here, and we're going to head back up to the side. So if you look down the bottom left at the mini-map, we're now coming back round, so we're kind of heading east and then kind of northeast, and then we'll be heading back around at the top. Off to our right is the biogas plant, which we're going to come to in a little while, just down there in the tractor. Like I say, I'll show you where I am when we get there, but as we come up to the top kind of part of the map, which is in the northeast, we've got the sell point again. So this is one of the other ways down off the plateau. So this is like the little track one. We're going to come down that in a little while. I've forgotten the name of it, but when we get to it, which is just here. Again, another nice detail, because on some maps you get sell points which are just railroad only. I like the fact you've got sell point for road and railroad, depending how you want to do it. We are at, so we've come round the bottom past Port Silo, up past the biogas. We are now up here, Agro Wholesales. Agro Wholesales is the top one, and you can sell pretty much everything. You can't do wool and cotton, and you can't do milk, but you can do eggs up here. So pretty much everything apart from those few kind of specific crops. Back into the train. We're going to head round, go past. There's like a tree nursery. Like I say, there's different bits of logging all around the map, so you can buy up different bits of kind of forested area. But this one is a properly kind of laid out, very... My OCD likes this one because it's very nice, straight, neat rows. But again, if you're going to be doing forestry from here, which is really, really nice touch, you've got a loading ramp as well, which I think is brilliant. It's a nice addition. The landscape is great. I love the way they've put the railroad to kind of fit in. It doesn't just, it's not all flat, it's not all boring, it's, you know, you've got a lot of sweeps and turns, and there's other buildings and things to look at, and, you know, it's absolutely great. Now we're only on the top bit at the moment, so we're going to get down into the bottom in a moment, if I can slow down and get off the train. That's slowing down, it's fine. Okay, oh, it obviously does a circuit. Look, the Herc's doing laps, you know. Right, back in the tractor, and we're going to head east now out of here. I want to show you just where we were just at a minute ago as we went past the nursery, because I think it's worth having a look up here. I love these big... There's a lot of these lighting rigs everywhere. I love the fact you've got the red and white around the bottom of them, just so you don't crash into them. Off to our right we've got a fuel station, gas station. There seem to be lots of these round water towers. There's not one at the main farm actually. Not water towers, you know, like the ones you get as a kind of in-game mod. Yeah, if we head up here, I just like the way it's laid out. It's not just here's a forest, you drive into it. It's laid out like a proper nursery, and that's what I think is, it's just another nice feature they've put on. So you've got your buildings and barns and stuff. Various different trees, so you've got your firs, you've got your pines, you've got various different growth stages, and you've got, you know, the smaller ones right in here. It's nice, very, very cleverly done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to carry on heading east, Next time you see me, we'll be at the track that leads down the side of the hills, down to the biogas plant, and then we'll go from there. I think plenty of space to get vehicles in here for logging. Anyway, I'll see you there in a minute, and I'll show you where I am when we get there. Okay, so we're now on a track, and I'll show you where. So we've kind of come from the main farm, our main farm. We've done a loop round. We went to the north silo and then did a loop round on the train. We came past here from the nursery. Now I'm just over here. Now this track here is one of the three that leads you down the mountain. Well, mountain, yeah, plateau. We've got one we're going to come back up later, which is the other side. And this one here that comes down from the farm is the third. That one we're not going to be taking, but we will see that in a minute. So we're coming down this one here towards the biogas plant. And like I say, they are steep, so coming back up them with, you know, I suppose with a truck with enough horsepower, you'll be able to pull heavier loads up here. But obviously, tracked vehicles, tractors, might well struggle. But it's brilliant. The terrain's really, really nice. So we've got one of the rickety bridges. I like the fact it's kind of scaffolded in. It's not just been placed. You've got the fences either side, this side, and you've got the other side. The wooden struts and supports kind of go into the rocks at the other side to support it. So, like I say, it's small little details like that that you don't necessarily pick up on initially. But biogas plant, again, not your standard fare. It's got a lot of various different domes and buildings, lots more of these like uplight kind of lights. Swing in here and come down this side. We've got three very large bunker silos, and then off to our right we've got our digestate tank just here, so the byproduct of putting anything you sell in there, so that's where you're going to collect that from. And over here we've got a ground level digester. I do like a ground level digester you can tip into with trailers. That's just there. So that's a biogas plant. Remember, you have to buy that. Which way's my exit? I think it's this way. Yeah, you have to buy the biogas plant before you can use it. So what we're going to do now, we are now on the plateau, on the valley floor, and this is what I'm talking about. Now you have to own the plot of land actually to be able to do this, but the posts that are white, like this one here, if you've got a chainsaw and you cut that one, it removes sections of fencing. Now obviously between this one and this one we've got quite a few sections, so it's going to take a few out, but you need to own the plot of land. Now on top of it there's a little red arrow that shows you the direction you need to cut. So in this case it'll be, you know, you've got to cut that way. So yeah, so that's it. Again, I like that. That's clever, having that in there so you can remove those barbed wire fences, or at least sections of them, so if you want to be able to access your fields a bit easier or from different locations, it's just a, you know, clever little extra to have in there. So right, we're going to head now, we're heading west again. We're going to head, we kind of went past the port silo, we've kind of had a look there. I'll see you back over there in just a moment. I'll just skip that a little bit. So as we come past the port silo, and if we have a look across to our left, you can see immediately the complete change in the landscape. The fact that down here it is flat, like billiard table flat, compared to up there, which has got a lot more, you know, hilly areas, and that's an incredible contrast. And like I say, it does cater for everyone. So we're now going under the road bridge, next to the rail bridge, next to the river. We're going to take a left here because the store's here. Now that road bridge, I'll just stop a second, that road bridge there is the third access, so that's the one I showed you on the map. That then will wind up, and there's our stars and stripes fluttering up there. That's where our farm is, just up there. So we're at the main store now for purchasing of equipment. This is your reset point, so if you do get something stuck in a river, off a cliff edge, just upside down in the wrong place, wherever it shouldn't be, this is where you'll reset to, here. We've got our maintenance, repair and sale point here. Then the buy point is just inside here. Oh, with a very helpful assistant. That's the assistant from Mercury. Anyway, she's been on lots of maps. So heading south again from here, we go straight to the bakery, I think it is. Got to find the access to it though. I'm going to cut across these curbstones. I shouldn't really. There is a wall there. You can't actually get through that bit. Excuse the bumping over the curbstones. But just in here, we've got the bakery sell point. Quite tight to get into this one. Look at that track just disappearing off into the distance. The fields down here are big. That's absolutely fantastic. And then if we pull in here, heading south again, we've got the garden centre. Now I haven't checked all of these because there's lots of these towers and water towers and things dotted all over the place. I haven't checked all of them. I'm assuming some of them will be for water. So this is your garden centre sell point. And then what's the last one I'm missing? On this part. Anyway, there's more to come, don't worry. There's loads more. I'll get it all in, I promise. Fancy a bit of volleyball. There we go. Bit of volleyball just there. Here we have got the... This isn't this... Which one's this? So we've done biogas plant. Come past there. Garden centre. The restaurant. So this is the restaurant sell point. So we've come across here, past there. Shop, bakery, garden centre. Now we're coming to the restaurant. What we're going to do from there is come back out, go across this bridge, and then we're going to head to these sell points over here. We're getting around them, but like I say, these are absolutely huge. Got a couple of big places. There's another placeable area there. I think we drove past one actually. You can kind of place things there as well. Right, so yes, restaurants. Let's head back to the bridge and we'll get on to some more. And there are loads. I like the fact there's a lot going on the map. It's not too busy, too fussy, you think, oh, you know, but there's enough to make it feel realistic and lived in and a kind of living, breathing place, you know. Some maps you don't have anything, and you know, there are lots of areas of, you know, farming communities where if you're just doing your farming day in, day out, unless you actually go to sell your products, you probably don't live anywhere near a town or buildings or built up areas. So I kind of get the differences between the two. I think I need to bang a left here and over the bridge. Now I think there are boats that are moving on the water. At least I thought there were. Maybe I've missed them. Yeah, there's that large placeable area just over there. Got a nice little chapel church on the right hand side. Yeah, plenty of fence posts. You can see the white tops on the fence posts down here. There didn't seem to be as many up on the plateau, but down here definitely. Right, I'm going to carry on now and we're going to head north, then west again to the next sell points. Uncle Pete's Excellent Diner. I've got an Uncle Pete. Didn't know he was into running a diner. He had his own little farm, as far as I recall, a long time ago. So, next sell point we're going to go past. We've got a nice little kind of, I suppose, holiday spot, beach area. It's not a beach as such. So we've got the barn on the left hand side. So if you're looking for where you want to sell your grass, hay, straw, bales and whatnot, that's just on the left. On our right, we've almost got a little fork here. We're going to do the left fork and then the right fork, but we'll get to those in a minute. We've got another lime station just there on the left, and on our right, we are coming up to the animal dealership. Well, she's just here. If we go, here we go. There's our animal dealership. We're going to do sheep at the moment. Oh yeah, and just through here, got a nice little equestrian centre. So if you've got horses and you want to come and do a bit of exercising for your horses, they'll be breathing in all the lovely pollution coming out the chimney from the next factory. But anyway, the next factory over is the sugar kind of refinery, I guess. I think it's the sugar one. Yeah, most of the entrances and exits to the field areas are huge. You have no problem getting big vehicles through there. Right, that's the exit. Now again, this is another nice feature. The detailing on this is brilliant. So we're now over here. So we've done the barn, gone past animal dealership, lime station. We're now at the Western Sugar Plant, and it looks like a factory complex. It's not just, you know, sugar plant with a building. It looks like a, you know, it looks like a factory. It looks like there's all sorts of processes and things going on, you know. There's your sell point. And let's swing around to our exit. So we're going to head back to that bit a minute ago where I just said it was like a fork. We're going to take the left one first, and then we're going to take the right one after, because they take you to two separate sell points. Unfortunately, there's no way of going between the two sell points other than coming back to that fork in the road, so we will do that in a moment. The left hand one is just coming up. That's what I was talking about earlier. Look, these are the water things that you can buy them at £5 grand. These are dotted around all over the map, and the fact you've got the water kind of all over the floor, I would like to think once you own that bit, maybe you don't even have to own that plot of land to use them. Maybe they are just water points, but there's quite a few of them around the map. So another kind of forested area just down here to our right, the other side of the river. But we are coming up on the sawmill, which is a rather large area. Plenty of space for moving vehicles around here. It's not a tight sawmill at all. They've also had a lot of rain because there's lots of these huge puddled areas. So we've got our wood chip sell point just tucked around the back here. Around the front here is our lumber timber sell point. Just there. The fact we're right next to the river, wouldn't it have been cool to have a mill pond? Again, I don't think there is. It doesn't seem to be enough access to actually get to the water to make it viable. Right, so we're heading back now down to that fork, and we're going to come back up that fork and over that stone bridge. So I will see you in a moment when I'm over there. So we've just come over the stone bridge, sawmill to our left. We are coming up on the spinnery. The road narrows, and this is the third of the kind of access points to the plateau. We came down one, the middle one I pointed out. If we come around to here, this is our spinnery. Again, plenty of space. So there's your sell point, just there. Again, lots of detail. I like the fact it's not just blank and plain, you know, there's lots to see, and you know. Ooh, can't get through that one. It's a pity. Anyway, enough of that. I've got to finish this off. I've got loads to do. Well, not loads. I haven't got loads to do compared to actually what we've done already. So back out of here, and we'll turn left. Now what we're going to do is take one of the little winding tracks and back up. And you'll see what I mean again. So now we're coming back up them. If you were towing a heavy load on with one of these tractors, unless you've got mega horsepower, and you're still going to slow down, these are steep. Let me look at the angle. That's what the train's for. And you'll notice as we now do our next turn and come back round, how much elevation we've gained already from the valley floor. You know, it's a lot. And this is the little we came past here in the train a little while ago. So this little track here goes under this bridge. And come back around, and we should, provided I've done this right, we should come back up towards our farm, I think. Now, I will say, as I always do, it's just kind of part of the old first look map tours, I've probably missed something. Various different things are more important to other people than other people, and you know, and I dare say the one thing I've missed is the one thing that you personally feel was most important. The water thing, again, I'm not 100%, and I'd like to think you might be able to refill at the rivers. I haven't had a chance to check that yet, but it's an easy fix to check. Or if you want to place a fountain, what I will do, actually, you know what, the easiest thing to do is to try and check this out. So we're back at the farm. Here's our farm. We come back on the track and we're back to where we started pretty much. What I'm going to do is just go to the sheep part and cut across this field. We own it, it's our field, we can do what we like with it. I'm going to grab the water trailer. Because there is a petrol station just across there, you can just see it through the trees. And I'm sure there was one of those water things in there. But what I'm going to do is head back to the farm and see if that hose that was on the barn, whether that's a water refill point. I don't think it is, but it's worth a check while we're here. I haven't seen anything else that seems obvious to be a water point. There's the hose. No, it doesn't seem to be. Maybe I need to be a little bit closer, possibly. Don't think it is, but like I say, it's worth a check. Nope, not there. Right, bear with me a second. I'm going to head cross country. Let's go to the gas station and see if that tank is. I'm just curious now. Just to satiate my own curiosity. Okay, so we're coming up on one now. I hope it is. So I'm going to do a little bit. There we go. Water is filling up and the money's not going down. So I'm assuming then whenever you come across one of those around the map, that's going to be a water refill point. Absolutely fantastic. And there you go. There's the gas station. We kind of went past that, kind of bypassed it. I did kind of nod towards it, but and another placeable area just in front of here. There are quite a few of them dotted about. But there you go. That's it. That's the first look map tour around the Pacific Northwest 19. It's a brilliant map. I really like this. This is by epicdeath, and yeah, brilliant. I think it's got enough to cater for everybody. It may not be everyone's cup of tea, but I think it does enough to kind of try to appease most people. Anyway, I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.